Dr. Hanchey, glad to have you with us today. We're talking Eufaula Education. You just recently arrived on the scene here in Eufaula at the school district. Tell us about some of your background.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Mr. Cassidy, and I thank Mr. Tyler and the board for allowing me to share with you this morning. I know I haven't had the opportunity to talk with and meet with all the community members, but I'm looking forward to establishing those partnerships and working with the community. I was actually born and raised in Enterprise, Alabama, just a few miles up the road, where I attended Enterprise High School. From there, I went to Auburn University, where I completed my bachelor's. From there, I went to work on my master's in education, science education, and specifically wanted to get a job teaching here in Alabama, but unfortunately, I couldn't find a position. So I knew I had to expand my boundaries a little bit, which is why I moved to the city of Chicago. Started working with Chicago Public Schools, where I became a biology teacher at that specific point in my career. After 8 years of being with the system, I was given the opportunity for a promotion from Ms. Marva Whaley and Noba to be a curriculum coordinator. That was about the time that the transition occurred with Common Core state standards. I'm very appreciative to Ms. Lenoba for that opportunity. Probably would not be here in Eufaula City today if it wasn't for her. My family and I were wanting to make a transition to a different city, and fortunately it was near the city of Enterprise, where I was born and raised, here in Eufaula. I have a daughter, and my wife, of course, have moved here with me. I saw the position online here with Eufaula City Schools. It was advertised, and I applied for that. I'm very fortunate to be here, and again, I'm thankful to Mr. Tyler and the board for this opportunity to work for Eufaula City Schools.
Looking at all the things that fall under your jurisdiction here, what would you say is the primary job that's yours the most to deal with day to day?
Well, and I tell you, my heart is very near and dear to curriculum and instruction. And to be honest with you, we only have one chance to provide the highest quality education for our students, especially with these new standards that have been released from the federal level, and 46 states have adopted those standards. They are rigorous national standards that are revolved around literacy and numeracy that, again, 46 states have adopted. And we want our students in Eufaula to be competitive in a global market. And in order for them to have that tenacity and competitive nature, these standards are requiring our children to think deeply. They are requiring requiring them to construct arguments and to critique each other. So these standards are at a much deeper and broader level than our state standards were. And this is not only a Eufaula City thing, this is a national movement that has taken place with a primary focus on literacy and numeracy. Achieving this vision, it's really going to require the assistance of all Eufaula stakeholders. That not only includes our administration, but it also includes teachers, it includes parents, faith-based organizations, non-for-profit organizations, elected officials, university and business partnerships. So it takes really a village, as the old saying goes, to raise a child, and that has not changed here recently with Eufaula City Schools. And we want to make sure that we're doing that to the best of our ability.
When you put together a program, and I think some of the viewers may not completely understand that, define curriculum.
Curriculum is really the heartbeat, in my opinion, of the school. It's what drives the instruction in the school. And in order to get better at your curriculum, you have to review the data that each school is providing, whether that be anecdotal data, whether that be hard data, whether that be soft data. All of that data has to be analyzed at not only a school level, but at a central office level to really find out what the priorities are, what the needs are for each individual school, and we as a district look to support those specific schools to make sure that we are providing the highest quality education for our students.
It was the craziest thing. I was just driving along and this squirrel came out of nowhere. Wow. The good news is, Alpha has the largest customer service team in Alabama. So you'll be dealing with people here, not all over the country. Awesome. Really not a scratch on it. You are lucky.
For a plan built just for you, contact Keith Bryan in Eufaula.
What grade levels do you deal with?
Currently, right now, I'm working with 6 through 12 students, so basically and essentially the middle school and the high school students. I know that there are some things that we have evaluated here at Central Office and as a team of principals, and we've had a focus group of teachers as well, evaluating some programs that essentially we would like to use to enhance Eufaula City Schools, especially driving our one-to-one initiative. Unfortunately, I have not had a chance yet to meet with each and every individual at this specific time, but my primary focus right now, only being about 3 months on the job, is to network with those principals and the teachers. As a matter of fact, I've established focus groups with teachers at the high schools where they have been letting me know what's working well, what's not working so well, and how I can support them. As a matter of fact, this Friday at the middle school, I'll be talking to those teachers, finding out how I can support them in their instructional endeavors to enhance their specific school.
Is there any surprises that you've encountered so far that you didn't expect?
You know, I know that nationally, I think that a lot of teachers, educators, and even administrators are really they're really having a struggle understanding the Common Core state standards. And we're wanting to unpack and unwrap those to make sure everyone has an understanding of what's expected for our students. So again, this is not a Eufaula City thing, the Common Core state standards. This is a national movement. And I think we're all in this same boat together, wanting to provide each and every student an equal opportunity for education, whatever their needs might be.
I know one of the things that's got to plague any school system is the fact that you have students who graduate from the program. Some are going to go to a much higher level of education. Some, this is the only level they're going to reach. How do you deal with such a wide range when you get them in the high schools and junior high school?
Well, certainly, and the state has developed, starting a freshman in high school, when you become a freshman in high school, the state has developed, and each LEA, local area school system, is supposed to be using 4-year plans to help students guide them and to track them as far as what their college or career readiness path might be. Some students, college might not be an option for them. I also function in the career technical coordinator capacity here in Eufaula City Schools, where I am wanting to take a look at those plans, find out exactly where our students' hearts and minds are as far as their career and college choices, analyze that data, and try and establish those types of programs that we need here in Eufaula City to meet their individual needs to be prepared for the 21st century.
Is every student that attends Eufaula City Schools, in your opinion, should that person have some basic skills that are life skills when they graduate in case they don't go to higher learning?
Sure, and the Common Core addresses that. I know that before the Common Cores were established, we were more or less a skills-based curriculum where we wanted students to have a specific skill once they had finished high school. We're wanting students to have deep thought and deep thinking and collaboration and communication specifically revolved around the Common Core state standards. These standards are going to be used to drive instruction, not only to help them in their educational endeavors, but also in their personal and professional lives, and establishing partnerships with the community once they have left Eufaula City Schools make sure that they are college and career ready.
Welcome to the Walmart Vision Center.
Quality eye care by a team of professionals and as close as your local Walmart Supercenter here in Eufaula. Eye exams are done right and we accept most vision plans. TRICARE, Alabama and Georgia Medicaid. Dr. Clark is a certified professional in primary eye care. The Vision Center in Walmart of Eufaula with everyday low prices. When you talk about college and career, are we talking about Wallace College level, or are we talking about University of Alabama, Troy, Auburn? What are we talking about?
Certainly. Well, we want our students to be prepared on all levels, and if once they target their goal in ninth grade, perhaps their goal might change within those 4 years that they are in high school. We want to make sure that they are on the right pathway, whatever their goals may be, whether it be a Wallace, University of Alabama, Auburn University, to make sure that they are going to be achieving and reaching their goals in the future.
Is a lot of our curriculum these days, is it directing more focus to the way that students learn? In other words, some students learn at a faster pace than others. How does our curriculum adjust to that?
Certainly. We are definitely looking at some options regarding that specific concern. I know that each student, and I myself, learn at a different level than perhaps others. And so sometimes Brent Hanchy may catch on to a concept maybe a little bit slower than someone else, and we have to make adjustments for that in our instruction. There's something called response to intervention, and we're looking at those district-wide plans that are an available resource for implementing response to instruction here in Eufaula City Schools. I'd really like for us to have a district model to follow, where that way that can follow the students wherever that intervention plan starts with that student, from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. If we don't have some consistency across the district, what might have worked for one student and that elementary school level may not be working for that student at the middle school or high school level. So we have to have some consistencies for our students, find out what is working, and make sure that we have some articulation and some cross-collaboration between the schools to make our system more effective.
What I'm seeing in this school district is what I call a lot of common sense education. Things that make sense for the students to learn, things they're encouraged to do. This seems to be continuing with you here.
Well, and I hope that is the case. Like I said, I am about 90 days on the position. I am wanting to definitely make some common sense decisions, but of course we have to have community involvement for that. It's not just a Dr. Hanchy thing. It is a Eufaula City thing. It's a Eufaula City community thing, where we want to establish those partnerships with families and non-for-profit organizations, other business partners, to make sure that we are providing the best quality education that we can provide for our students. It's really all about collaboration and figuring out what is going to be best for our students. And of course that takes time, and I'm working to get there to where I can say I have talked with many others in the community, and this is the approach that we want to take. So I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and developing those and fostering those partnerships.
When you look at education and you look at the steps in curriculum that's going on right now, and where do you see this going 15 years from now?
Well, I think that the hope nationally is that we are more prepared as a nation for a more global economy, where we can compete as a nation. I know that there's a lot of other nations that are far and above us as far as their educational quality and the output that they have in their specific countries. But I think specifically what we're wanting to do is make sure that we have the best and the brightest exiting Eufaula City Schools that are prepared to come back to our community and to serve our community here in Eufaula City.
When you look at the colleges that you can relate to from the students here, do you get information from them about what they need?
Absolutely. That is part of the partnerships that we have, and we do have, me being the career tech director here, we have advisory committees, meetings that take place on a quarterly basis. Those individuals have my personal contact information, my cell phone number, my email. I am definitely wanting to listen to what the community has to say, where we can make the decisions moving forward for what's best to the system. They're a vital importance of us moving forward. The university partnerships are definitely something that we have to foster, not only with Wallace that's here locally, but also with Troy, Dothan, University of Alabama, and Auburn, to make sure we are meeting those skill sets of our students that are needed, revolved around the Common Core standards.
Dr. Hanchey, this has been very interesting. I've enjoyed this interview. I hope we can come back and talk some more as time goes on.
Mr. Cassidy, I appreciate your time, and again, I thank Mr. Tyler and the board for this opportunity to network with the community. I look forward to reaching out and partnering with the community to make Eufaula schools the best it can be.
We're talking Eufaula Education.
Sure, the chorus, my name is Lucky, and the reason they calls me Lucky is cause I got all of this money. And the reason I got all of this money is because I sells me gold on Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.